Hello and welcome back to the reading vlogs. As you can see by the lighting, it is late. I am starting this video on Monday, but yeah, it's late already, so the lighting is bad, I'm sorry. I still haven't bought a new light bulb for this room. Yeah, I don't know. At some point I will do, I'm really sorry. But I wanted to start the week with a reading update because I finished a book. And that is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and I have to say I don't like it. I gave it 2 stars. It is described as a murder mystery, and the point of view is from an autistic child that has Asperger's syndrome, and he's 15, I think, in the book, and that is pretty much the story. And yeah, first of all, I don't get, but children's perspectives are already hard for me, and then somebody with autism did make it worse just because of, I think if the story would have been different, it wouldn't have mattered as much, but this really isn't a murder mystery. There's a murder. Yeah. Okay, had to let the dog in. There's murder. It's not really that much of a mystery because the perpetrator tells on himself halfway through the book, and then it's just a family drama, which I don't enjoy. It's not something I would buy. I didn't buy this book because I was interested in it. It came in a book box where I wanted other books. I bought it on eBay and I wanted like 2/3 of the book that were in there, and that was one of the ones I didn't know anything about, but I decided to read it anyway because I own it, you know, why not? But yeah, it's not something I enjoy reading genre-wise. I didn't enjoy it. It's just a book about a really dysfunctional family, and there's no resolution to the problems that are in the story at the end of the book, which was really disappointing because I didn't really get why the book was the way it was. Yeah, also it's by Mark Hedden. I think I forgot to tell you the author. So yeah, not impressed. 2 stars. I really don't like giving 1-star ratings if I don't absolutely dislike the book. I just wasn't interested in this. I didn't like the point of view because of how juvenile obviously the main character is, and I don't enjoy that particularly well. So yeah. I'm sorry if you enjoyed the book. It has quite good reviews, but I think the reviews are really split between really loving the book and really disliking the book. So that is kind of the problem. But yeah, I read that today. I read like 220 pages today of that because it does read really quickly, because obviously it's like a really childlike perspective, and then there are like images in between, so you can see it's really not much on one page, you know. So yeah, I finished that. I haven't decided what to pick up next, so you will have to wait for like the next clip for that. And I did buy another book. Let's just say, you know, when on Amazon, when you buy something and you get it quicker if you get over like 20 euros. I don't know if it's a thing in America, but here's it's a thing. If you buy over 20 euros, certain items get quicker to you, and I wanted to buy something and it just was 10 euros, and then was like, okay, if I buy something else, I get the other item quicker. So obviously I bought a book, you know, makes sense. And because I loved reading The Stand so much, I did get myself another Stephen King. I won't read it directly because I have so many other books I need to read. But yeah, I bought myself Desperation by Stephen King. I didn't own that yet. It's one of these versions. I have a few of them, so it will look great on the shelves. I do really like the covers. I think I watched a trailer of the movie. I wasn't interested in the movie, but I'm interested in reading the book. So yeah, this one I will pick up in the next few weeks probably. But before that I need to read something else from my TBR that was already there longer. But yeah, that is the update for today. So other than that, I did film my video for Thursday. I went back to work. Well, I work from home, but you know, I had to work 8 hours. So yeah, I did that. And yeah, other than that, my day was really not that exciting. So yeah, I kind of forgot. I did want to, hoover and stuff, but I got stuck reading, so I have to do that tomorrow as well, which happens, if you pick up a book and you want to get it done, sometimes other stuff doesn't get done, because it's just the way it is sometimes. But yeah, I will now go upstairs, do a little bit of gaming, and go to bed, and then I will see you tomorrow with the next book pick. Okay, let's do a quick little lunch break check-in. I didn't really get to check in with you yesterday. I had kind of a bad day, like feeling wise. Like, I don't know, I had a bad day yesterday. So I did some retail therapy. I didn't buy any books, which I'm kind of proud of because I don't need more. But yeah, so I couldn't really check in with you, but I did start a new book, and that is The Lost Village by Neil Spring. And it is actually a historical supernatural fiction. I feel like is kind of what you can describe the book with. And I read 55 pages yesterday, so I'm not that far into it, but yeah, we'll see how much I get done today of the book. But yeah, it plays out in between 1914 and 1940 is kind of when the book plays out. And we have the Lost Village, which is called Imba. And it was pretty much emptied out when the war began, and then the people were never allowed to go back, and it is used as a military training ground, and then once a year the people are allowed back in to tend to the graves of their loved ones that that died there, and then they have to go again. And our main character is a woman who, for some reason, she stopped with her father there, and her father was remember this village. And then we're 1914 when she's oh, no, that was 1914. And then we are later in the story, and she's now an adult, and she worked together with somebody who is a ghost hunter of a kind. He doesn't believe in ghosts, and he tries to primarily rebuke all of those seers and future tellers, fortune tellers, all of that, And she did work with him together, but she kind of terminated that relationship because he was mean to a woman who had cancer, who did fortune telling, and yeah, she wasn't okay with him destroying an ill woman's career, so that she not only was actively dying, but also didn't have a job anymore, pretty much. And so yeah, and now we are at a point where they met again, and I'm pretty sure that they get together again and then go to the village, because for some reason she feels a tug towards certain places, and I guess the village will be one of those. But I'm only 50 pages in, so yeah, it's historical fiction, ghost hunting, which sounds really nice. Right now, the historical fiction actually doesn't bother me, which would be the first book, I think, that is historical fiction with a focus on the historical that I actually enjoy, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, until now I do really enjoy it. It is a lot of drama, but it's fine. It's not overwhelming for me. So yeah, I will continue with this one today, and then we'll see how far I'm able to come. I would like to at least get 100 pages read today, so we'll see. Hopefully I can get 100 pages done, but I never know. Anything can happen. If you're not in the mood to read, don't read. But yeah, I will start in a bit, and then I will see you probably in the evening, and I will tell you a little bit more about The Lost Village. I did manage to read what I promised myself to read. I am now 150 pages in. I might continue tonight before going to bed, but obviously I won't film that, because once I'm in bed I don't film, obviously. So yeah, I'm really interested in the book. I really like it. I think it's a nice kind of story. It's not too dramatic. It plays with a lot of those like kind of like cliche things, you know. We have our main character, the girl, who is not convinced that there are supernatural things, but she kind of believes in it, kind of not. Then we have the supernatural ghost hunter guy who doesn't believe in ghosts actually and thinks everything is like, you know, a thing. Then we now also have the military, which they think it's a hoax, and then we have the inhabitants of Imba, the lost village, those who used to live there, who definitely think that it's ghosts. And now our main girl, who is called Sarah, and Harry, the ghost hunter guy, are now in Imbar, and they have 24 hours to find out what is happening there and to give the military pretty much the answer that they want. That there's nothing there, or that whatever is there is actually a human, and so everything can then go to plan. But obviously, I don't think that it will be that easy. I also haven't made up my mind how I want the book to end. I'm not sure if I would rather it be supernatural or not supernatural, but yeah. I really like it. It's actually really nice. I think it's a nice historical fiction, so I actually do manage to like a historical fiction. I like that it's like, you know, 1930s. It's not super old, but it's not recent, you know, so it does feel like a historical fiction, but it doesn't feel outlandish, if you get what I mean, you know. It's not like the 1800s. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's a nice read. It doesn't read like slow or fast. It's like a pretty steady pace, the reading. But yeah, I'm glad I picked this up and that I chose to read it, because it's a nice change in pace from the other books I've read, you know, in the last few days or weeks, pretty much. So yeah. It's pretty sad, you know, because the village is really damaged and the houses look really bad, and even though the people can go back for one day to, you know, mourn their dead, they will never get their village back, which is kind of a sad story if you ask me. So yeah, probably there will be a lot more sad things in the book. That is what I'm thinking that might happen, you know, because it feels like, even though it's like a ghost story, ghost hunter story, it feels like a really sad story, you know, like a mourning of what was and what never will be again. So yeah, I'm really interested to see where this goes. Okay, let's do a quick check-in before I Skype with my friend. I didn't read as much as I thought I would, which is kind of annoying, but it is what it is. But yeah, I read like maybe 100 pages more, so I'm at page 250. So yeah, not where I wanted to be, but you know, it is what it is. I still like the book. I think it goes interesting ways, but yeah, I'm not sure where we will end up, but pretty much nobody is doing what they're saying. And it's quite interesting, but like, yeah, it's the first historical fiction that I actually really enjoy, which is really nice. But yeah, we're only doing a quick check-in because I will Skype with my friend now and I forgot to check in earlier. I'm really sorry. So yeah, I'll see you tomorrow with a really big check-in. Okay, check-in. It's Friday. I am way slower reading this week than I would have thought, but it's the first week back working, so I mean, it kind of makes sense, you know. The week has been it has been a week, if you know what I mean. You know, coming back from vacation to work, there's always so much to do, and it really takes all of my energy out of me. So hopefully next week will go better reading wise. But I'm still reading The Lost Village. I don't know if I like it anymore. I think it's too long. I think that is my main problem with the book. It wants to do too much and it's too long. I like the setting, I like the idea of the story, and I did enjoy like the first half. I did enjoy really well. But now I'm kind of at the point where I'm like, okay, we can kind of stop with the secrets up on secrets up on secrets, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm now at page 313, so I have 120 pages left, which realistically I won't read that today. I read like 100 pages already today, and realistically I will finish this book tomorrow. So this will probably be the more or less the only book I finished this week. Have I finished another book this week? I don't know. I have to look. It's hard keeping track sometimes, but yeah, so I won't finish that. I then now that I will listen to that tonight. I got the fifth, I'm not sure, Murderbot book. The audiobook, I got that yesterday evening, but then I Skyped with my friend, so I didn't have a chance to listen to that yet, but I will start with that this evening. So I can finally continue with the series, which I'm really, really happy about. But I think I have like 3 books left in that series. 3 or 4. I'm not quite sure right now, but you know, I got that, so I can listen to that now, which is nice. Also, I did buy a new phone. I wanted to wait till the middle of the year, and then my partner and my best friend kind of talked some sense into me, because my phone doesn't really function right anymore. The screen has like a row of pixels that don't work anymore, and half of the time it doesn't ring when somebody calls me, so I don't realize it's actually ringing because it doesn't make a sound. The screen won't lit up and stuff, and yeah, it's not the best anymore. It is old, so that is actually fine, but yeah. So my partner and my best friend convinced me to buy a new phone because I need one. So yeah, hopefully that will come next week. So the video quality should actually improve quite a bit, because this phone is now 6 years old, and I'm a person, I don't exchange my phone other than if it you know, it gets broken, or it's just so old that it doesn't really work well anymore, which is the case now, and I still feel bad for getting a new one because I feel like it's not broken enough yet. But yeah, if there would be an emergency, I probably wouldn't get it, so I think that probably gives me reason to buy a new phone. So yeah, I bought that. That should come next week, and that has a way better camera, which should be really nice. So hopefully coming next week the quality should go up, which I'm excited for that, you know. But yeah, that is kind of where I'm right now. Yeah, I had a slow week. I will probably read quite a bit tomorrow, but we'll come to that when it comes to tomorrow, you know. But I will definitely finish this one this week, and I might even finish the Murderbot audiobook, because that happens quite often, that I read those in like 2 evenings and then I'm finished with that. Even though it was like a tiring week, I still feel like I actually managed to do stuff, and yeah. I mean, I will now have to find a balance again, you know, with like reading, working, other hobbies. But yeah, I think that next week will probably be a little bit more balanced. And yeah, I'm kind of disappointed that this one like starts so good and then tapers out kind of. So yeah, we'll have to see where this goes. I mean, I still think it's not a bad book. It's just that I'm not like 100% convinced. We'll see if maybe the ending will sway my opinion. Because it feels like there will be like a few plot twists still. But yeah, I will find that out tomorrow. And the other book I did start a second one, but that is kind of like a yearly project, so I won't finish this anytime soon. But I did start this week with the complete Edgar Allan Poe collection, and I read the first 2 stories of that. So yeah, I'm not that far in. But yeah, my goal for the year is to finish this in the year. Not fast, I have to be honest. I like the topics of the stories, but it's old, you know, the language is old, and it isn't that easy to read for me, like on long, like in one sitting a lot. So I decided to read like 2-3 stories, you know, a week, and then hopefully I will be done with that by the end of the year. So yeah, check in. Yeah, I don't know. It has been a week. Good morning. It is, well, 10 o'clock on Saturday. But yeah, I wanted to check in. I made some really interesting discoveries yesterday. I started the 5th book in the Murderbot series, which I already forgot again what it's called. I'm gonna put the title here. You know how the first 4 Murderbot series books are really short? And they're like each like 3 hours long, the audiobook, and I was like, oh yeah, I can, definitely finish the audiobook in like 2 days, no problem. The first one is 13 hours long, the audiobook. So yeah, obviously I won't finish it in 2 days because I pretty much only listen at night, before going to sleep. So yeah, I started it yesterday. I have a lot of fun listening to that. The Murderbot series just is a lot of fun. But yeah, I started it yesterday, and obviously it will take me into next week to finish that. Then it was so fun because I was like to my partner, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna quickly listen to the next one. And yeah, it's not gonna be that quick. But it's fun, and that is all I want from that series, So yeah, that was point number 1. And then I did finish The Lost Village yesterday, and I'm actually really happy with the book. Funnily enough, this is part 2 in a series. Nowhere on the cover can you see that this is part 2, which I find kind of weird. Yeah, if I would have read this small like thing about the author, there is the only place where it says that this is the 2nd part in the series. But yeah, so I didn't know that. I don't think it actually matters. I think this book works totally fine as a standalone. So that is really not that much of a problem, but I was kind of astonished as I finished the book and realized that this is part 2 and that I actually missed the first book. But yeah, I did like the ending. So for me, this book, I gave it 4 stars. It's like 3.75, but I round it up to 4 because it's easier for my rating system, But yeah, I think I really liked the beginning and I really liked the ending. What I didn't like was the middle. I felt like it was kind of getting a little bit boring and it was a little bit too much plot twist in the middle. But the ending was just really tragic, and I really enjoyed that. I think it's kind of fitting. I think this is actually the first historical fiction that I can like vividly remember it being a historical fiction that I really, really enjoyed, which is nice because I, for one, thought there is no historical fiction out there that I would love. Like that where like the focus is on the historical part of the fiction, But yeah, so yeah, it is a supernatural mystery book crossed with historical fiction pretty much. And it plays between the 2 world wars pretty much. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was really positively surprised by the book, which is really nice, because I knew nothing about the book. I got it like on an eBay box with like a lot of other books. I didn't buy the box for this book. And yeah, it was a good read. I feel like this is one when you go on vacation to like a hut in the mountains and then you pack something like this. I feel like for that this is really, really nice. I think I noticed, which kind of annoyed me, but I guess that is also like historical fiction partish, is how everybody in the book like behaves like Sarah, our main character, is like a frail little woman, even though she's like, she has some moments. But yeah, everybody's like, oh my god, you have to, sit down, don't do too much, But I think that's pretty much part of the historical factor of the book. But yeah, I won't spoil you too much because I feel like this book actually reads best without many spoilers. So yeah, I won't really say much more to the plot, but I did enjoy it. So if you like historical fiction that plays out between like the First and the Second World War, and that is like has like a touch supernatural with like mediums, ghost hunting, seances, seances. I don't know how you pronounce that correctly. Yeah, then this book is definitely for you, and I would actually recommend reading it because I found it to be quite nice, which makes this week a good reading week. And I managed to read another book of my TBR, which is great. We're getting there. We're getting there. I have a good run at the moment, which is really, really nice. I haven't picked my next read yet. So yeah, I don't know what I will read next. Let's see. I'm kind of in the mood for sci-fi, but I don't have that much sci-fi on my TBR, which makes it a little bit more, well, harder to choose. But yeah, I guess you will have to wait for next week's vlog to find out what I picked up, because well, today I will listen to more of the Murder series, which is sci-fi, so that is kind of fitting. But yeah, I won't pick up a physical book today, because obviously I do want to listen to quite a bit of the audiobook when I'm, to be totally honest, and then I will pack up the next book tomorrow morning. But because I don't vlog on Sundays, obviously I won't vlog that, so you will get the check-in Monday in the next vlog. So yeah, there's actually yeah, I had a good week, you know. Also, I bought myself some clothes, and they are really great. One is this top, but yeah, the week was, you know, work was like really kicking my butt, because I think it's normal, you know, if you have 2 weeks vacation, you come back to work and there's just so much to do, you know. And yeah, even though I don't have a physical job, I feel like if you have like a mentally taxing job, which I feel like IT is a mentally taxing job, you can be really, really tired after work, and that was one of the problems I had this week. But yeah, my plan for next week is to get a little bit better of a balance with like work, reading, video making in there, and then hopefully next week my phone should be here, so hopefully the quality of the videos should improve by next week. So yeah, I hope you're coming back for next week's vlog for better quality, more reading, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week's vlog. And yeah, if you need a good cozy read, this one, The Lost Village by Neil Spring, actually a good recommendation, I feel like. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this week, and hopefully I will see you in the next video. Bye!